Namaste, everyone. Very, very happy to see all of you here, meet you all here in truth. I feel this feel like sharing a little bit, a very small thing which probably can be useful for many of us. No? This same life in which we are living uh, is an opportunity to discover who we are. Which means being free from the limitation of the body mind, being free from the bondage to experiencing any experiences produced by the body mind and life combined together. No? Which does not mean that we cannot experience, but not bound to experiencing anything. So this life is an opportunity to discover who we are and to achieve complete freedom like this. But also, this life is an opportunity for experiencing. And this is where the pendulum of our being is swinging from one to another continuously. It is noticed. The same day which is given to all of us every day, we spend so much more time in the experiencing of it than in experiencing ourselves, the experiencer, or um, spending time in inquiring towards who we are. And one thing that is very interesting and important to be understood in this direction, I found that we when have too much attachment to experiencing it, it is not because of experiencing itself, in the sense that it's not because experiencing is such a pull, such a glue that it can hold us so much. It is that when we are not able to experience life that time, you know, that causes the attachment to experiencing much more. But otherwise, if we are able to experience, meaning we are able to experience happiness of life, no? Experiencing life basically means experiencing happiness of life, no? Why anybody would like to experience suffering in life, no? And life is not suffering in this sense. When we are failing to experience life the way we can, that time what we experience is suffering, unhappiness. No? When we live in a sweet flow in the whole day, then what we experience is life, but it produces joy, happiness. No? So even experiencing life is not really in the way of knowing who we are when we really experience life. But generally we don't experience life, more we think life, or we think about experiencing. So this is something I thought that will kind of maybe create like offer a background for all of us to explore the truth of who we are today. Like our unfulfilled desires, in one sense. What are our unfulfilled desires? No? Can we desire something which we have never tasted? Can we desire something which we have never tasted, which we have never experienced? We cannot actually, because even to desire, we need to have some reference, some reference inside our being that yes, I tasted it, but did not taste it well. I experienced, but not fully, so I want to experience it more. No. So our unfulfilled desire basically are the desires, in one sense, of those things which we have experienced in life, in one sense. No. What can be the way for that. Going back to that same exact life situation or trying to create that which generally is not available, which is never available actually. The same exact life situation is never available to us, which was available in the past. No? But present is available, both to discover who we are and to live also. The key is to be more, learning to be more present in ourselves. Then if the feeling is to experience, we will experience life. The feeling is to discover who we are, we will discover who we are also. To experience, we need to be present. To know who we are, we need to be present also. No? So in this way, experiencing life and knowing who we are is not really opposite of each other or in conflict with each other. In relation to experiencing life, the more absent we are from life when trying to experience, the more we are creating the unfulfilled desires, or in the sense of discontentment inside us. No? This is my experience. No? In the same way, the more absent we are from ourselves, from our life, and trying to know ourselves, the more we will feel that I am not able to know or experience who I am. In both the things, not being present is what is against it in a way, or a shortcoming. No? And if it can be understood well what it means to be present. A very simple example of now the example of towards knowing who we are also, because we have understood that it is important to be present in order to experience anything really. No. Now let us try to understand that why it is important to be present, to know who we are. No? When we are less present, let's say, meaning we are less present as ourselves in this moment and trying to know who we are, any experience of ourselves produced by us within ourselves can give us a misunderstanding. And we will never be certain actually about it, that whether this is what I think it is, whether this is valuable or not. Should I pay attention to it or not? No. But when we are more present, basically we are more undivided being. Present means undivided being. No. The more present, the more undivided being we are, no, in this moment. Our natural wisdom of the undivided being is present here, and we can very simply see. That whether this experience is valuable or not. As such, actually, experiences are not good or bad. Experiences either give us a taste, no, any and every experience either give us a taste of life in a certain way, or it gives us a opportunity to use that experience as a mirror to reflect back to who we are. No? Only two things. No? Every experience gives only two things to us. No? Either a opportunity to taste life in a certain way, or to use it as a mirror to reflect back to who we are. No? Just two things. But if we are absent, then neither we can actually taste life through this experience, nor we can use it as a mirror to know who we are also. No? But if we are present, if we are in the mood to know who we are, naturally our focus will turn towards who we are also. And if we are not, we will enjoy the taste of life through this experience. No? I had this feeling to share like this. Thank you. Anyone can, if you want to talk to me, you can talk. I invite all of you to resolve anything that you feel you can resolve by talking to me in the direction of knowing who we are. No?
Namaste ji. Ji, I want to explore, like we always say, like I want to come in front of you. So I just feel to like how I can come in front of you without me. Like something is like is in between, so that I cannot meet you that way. So what is this veil, or so then I can really meet you? So that I want to explore with you.
Yes. Let me share few words, and then that can maybe help you, and then we will talk back again. No? My feeling is that our experience of being and meeting life, or anybody else like me in this case, our experience of being and meeting life is mostly dependent on our body mind, no? Mind particularly. When mind declares that I am meeting, that time we feel that yes, I am meeting. When our mind declares I am not meeting, that time not. Because we don't have a clear experience of who we are beyond body and mind. No? So that is why our way of declaring the meeting with life and meeting with anybody else, like me also, is dependent on the mind's declaration, isn't it? So to actually have a meeting here or conversation and exploration of truth, you be present. Which means what? Which means that we have an option to be present or absent? No, we don't have an option to be present or absent. We are that pure being of life which is always present. But we have an option to detach ourselves in some way from the mind. No? And give value to ourselves and feel our own existence and confirm that yes, I am present. No? So first, let us confirm in this conversation that are you present or not? It is really less important whether mind is present or not inside us. It is more important that am I present or not? Meaning, the moment we say consciously that I am present, that apparent experience of being caught up in the mind and things like this has kind of already reduced so much in this one moment only. No? So this is our power. This is the power of our own being. So now, please say something.
See, that moment I say I am present, I feel like my whole energy is one, and I start feeling joy. So that I want to check this. It means I am present. Like I think I am present, but I want to check with you.
Yeah, this for sure is a good sign because joy is our own nature. And even if, let's say, joy was not your nature, when you are free from mind into yourself, you will be feeling very happy in the freedom or not. So you will be experiencing joy or not. You know what I mean? Like, oh wow, that's so nice. I just am not doing anything with the mind and body. No. Joy is our nature. Meaning as this being who is present. No. Joy is our nature in another sense, you can say in another language, we can say that joy is the material we are made of. This presence that we are is made of joy. How much joy we want to experience today, right now, that much we should experience ourselves. And if we want to experience only joy and nothing else, then we should not experience anything else but ourselves only, no? I am saying experience. Experience means what? Meaning that mind, that individual consciousness which experiences everything, body, through the body, no? Through the senses, which experiences everything, this individual mind or consciousness turns towards experiencing its own source, which is saying, I am present here. No? So in this case, who is experiencing whom right now? The experience could be that I am experiencing my own deeper self. However, the truth is that individual mind which is experiencing everything, and through which we, the one who is present, is experiencing everything also, has just withdrawn itself from that mind into itself and directly experiencing itself. Not that some mind is experiencing you. No, that mind or that individual is very less now here. Meaning not given value in a way, no? Do you see the simple thing? And when this individual mind is not given value, and directly you give value to yourself, then you don't really have confusions here. Why we don't have confusions here? Because we don't have that background knowledge of everything in a partial manner. No, here we have absolute knowledge, even if little bit. And absolute knowledge only produces joy, happiness, freedom. No? Like we are certain in the absolute knowledge, we are always certain about whatever we are certain about, even if little bit, even if a small thing. No? The the percentage is always 100 here of the knowing. No, even if the quantity of knowledge is less, like just knowing little bit something, like a very small thing you are knowing here, that I am knowing that I am present. Very small knowledge. I don't have a lot of knowledge. No, but this is absolute knowledge. No? Meaning this is 100% knowledge, not partial knowledge. No? Yes. Stick to the absolute knowledge of yourself. Then let's say talk to each other. You said that I want to meet you, I want to come in front of you, and I don't know how. So this is how. Now you will not have doubt that whether I am present or not, whether I am meeting or not, whether I am conversing or not. No. Now you will not have doubt. Let us try to understand this simple thing, that mind is not something. It is the a thought process. It's a mechanism of thinking. No, mechanism of thinking, imagining. When we get into it, then we are not really seeing what is existing. We are seeing what is seen through the thinking. No? Be simple about this truth. No? Be simple about this truth. No? And when we slip out of the mind into our natural state of, natural sense of existence, then nothing is seen here. That's why we go back to the mind. No? That I cannot see anything here. Meaning from here nothing is being seen. Only I am feeling that I exist. No? We really need a lot of courage to accept the truth that I exist. And from here I have very, very less knowledge right now. I have just one knowledge that I am. But sometimes what we may experience like a emptiness is the absence of the knowledge of the mind also here. No? Absence of the experience is produced by mind also here. No? Like no experience is no knowledge here. Just the sense of existence, pure and simple. No? Are you experiencing joy right now? Maybe or maybe not. But are you experiencing freedom right now? Yes. No? Freedom. Not joy. Freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from whatever we were bound to. That is irrelevant now. No? Because this is not a relative freedom. This is absolute freedom into ourselves. No? Freedom into our existence is absolute freedom. Even for a moment, even for a few seconds. That can reset our understanding about mind and everything so much in even just few seconds. No? Because this is real awakening, even for 1 minute, even for 5 minutes, even for 2 hours, like in the duration of this meeting. No? What do you feel?
If I am present, I am available to enjoy my joy. Otherwise, if it in mind, then we're searching the joy outside and not looking like joy in me. So that's so I just this notice while talking to you.
Yes, yes. Through the mind, through the body, the joy is experienced actually, temporarily. But it is so fleeting that we hardly experience it and it is already gone, isn't it? That's where from where the unfulfilled desires, like fundamental, the root of the unfulfilled desires is that I am trying to experience this joy, which is my nature also, no? Like this is something which we are made of, no? So we will have a natural existential longing to experience this joy, no? And we are not able to. So that's where the unfulfilled desires, the root of all the unfulfilled desires is not able to experience this joy that we are. Yes. And somehow, as if we are kind of caught up in the mind, meaning we are caught up in the hope from the mind that one day I will find that happiness in this method. No? Nobody has ever found, by the way. Nobody, no being has ever found happiness in the method of the mind. It's just a matter of getting tired or getting disillusioned, like losing hope at some point that no, this is not going to give me happiness, which I am searching for, and then coming back to where you are now. It's not that we cannot experience joy when we are experiencing life through the mind and body. It's not that it is not possible. But that joy will not be coming from the experience of life. It will be coming from you, the experiencer, into the body mind and being experienced by you. Because the source of joy is the experiencer that we are. Joy does not come from body or mind. No? But we can spread that joy all over the body mind and experience it at every level of the cell of the body and brain and thought and feeling. So like we can have that taste of the joy and the thought, joy and the feeling, joy and the sensation of body. But that joy still will be coming from ourselves only, because there is no joy anywhere else. Joy does not come from anywhere else in this life, except from the experiencer who we are truly. I think it's good. No?
Yes, he's very, very good. It's like we are searching joy always outside, going here, there. So many things we'll do, but we always not remember like it is whenever it's come from inside, not any situation or like that. So yes.
This is what is being absent in one sense. Or in your case now, this is what is being present. Being present, being conscious when experiencing joy. No? Great beings have said that when you are joyful, that is the time to be conscious, to be present. That how joy is being produced right now. Like what is the source of happiness right now? The source of unhappiness we cannot find really so easily, although we believe that we can. Source of happiness can be found so easily because that time we are happy, meaning we are full of energy also, full of inspiration also. It's just about the right alignment, that at the time when we are happy, if we can be more present and conscious, then the source of happiness can be discovered as our own being. Like, like a state of being where nothing is bothering you. Not because life has suddenly become very comfortable, but because somehow you have got unhooked from the mind in this moment. Nothing bothers you. It is so surprising to know this truth that joy is my own nature. When I'm not doing anything, that time what I experience is myself, which tastes like joy. You know. In one way or the other, we know this actually. That's why we have an importance of weekend, we have of holidays or vacations, and like what we do there in the recent times, past few years, it was also discussed a lot about holidays and all vacations. No, that in the name of going to a vacation and holiday, we get much more tired when we come home. So let's really have a actual vacation, not like completely planned that I'll visit this and that and that. No, let it be more unfolding as we go there. No, it was also discovered. So this is the same thing we are trying to experience or not, in different ways. We want to rest. We want a rest from thinking, planning, or attending that life which has to be always like we have to respond, making decisions and everything. No, we are just seeking for some kind of freedom from it, isn't it? So that we can feel restful. And if we can be little conscious here, we will not go to sleep when we are restful. And that is where it is discovered that peace, that rest is coming from my own being. It sounds really very simple, and that's why we overlook it and miss it mostly. No? In one sense, it is simple, but it is not insignificant. It is simple, but supremely significant. No, because this can change our life completely. Like it can make somebody a king, no, from a beggar. No, we are begging for happiness continuously, no, isn't it? And we can find that, hey, the treasure of happiness is within me only. How much happy I want to, how much joy I want to experience, let me just sit in myself and experience myself. No? And then we can mixing like experiencing myself and experiencing body, experiencing myself and experiencing thought, feeling, everything like this. Life. But without losing contact with the experiencing myself, because otherwise it will be an empty experience without joy, without happiness. No? And this happiness that we experience, the joy that we experience within ourselves is also life. It's life, pure life. No? It's pure aliveness. Life means pure aliveness, no? Which can give life to everything of our body mind also. It can make our body mind much more alive than it is right now. No? Because we have been much more absent from our life, body mind. That's why our body mind is also quite dull and dead in one sense. No? Yeah. The more we are joyfully present in our body mind, the more body mind will come to life also. No? Become very alive and happy. No? Thank you. I think we are good then. Thank you.
Gee, I would like to say one thing, like you say it's very simple to experience your joy. So I also face this thing, like it is simple, but I don't trust myself. No, it is not possible to take, like it is that much easy to, if I feel joy, maybe something need more to done, then I can achieve this joy. So this is very difficult to trust, like it is very simple and simple to experience our own joy. Because we have so much concept, like if we find our own joy, we have to do lots of things, then we can find the joy. So
you are very right. I just want to add a little bit something here which may help somebody, that when we are having doubt about this truth that we are and the joy that we are experiencing when living our own essential nature, those doubts are not really something like a wall or something being created between ourselves and our own true being. No, it is something that we attend. It is something that we value, which is produced by mind, and it is not something that we value in that very moment. It is something that we have been valuing for a long time. Like we have been living in this way of mind for a long time. No? So overnight that cannot change. Sometime it may. We may see the value of this truth, but mostly not. Mostly we will see the value of it, live it, and then come back to believing in the mind that, okay, it was a good experience. And we will not realize that what I experienced was my own being, my own self, and if I could have given little more value to that, it could have shifted my existence from mind to the being. No? So that will happen. But what is the way for that? I feel that we are the thinker in the mind. If we can be more neutral thinker, if we can be more stable thinker, not not when we are meditating only, but when we are normally, approaching life through thinking also. Like if we, it can be more like a more resolved thinker. That time it will be found that actually the power is not in the thinking. Power is in my decision towards it, that whether I should trust this thought or not, or this thinking or not, or this conclusion of thinking or not. No. Ultimately, consciously or unconsciously, we are the thinker, which is the being that we are only, is deciding whether this thought is useful for me or not. Nobody else is deciding that, no? Or is somebody else deciding? What is believing a thought? Believing a thought means giving value to it, as if it is real or as if it is going to give me something valuable, isn't it? Why we do that? If we can be more conscious thinker, which is necessary, by the way, even in life also, normal life of a person, it is the more conscious thinker we are, the better. Because our mind is such a space where any thought can enter from anywhere also sometime, no? Like a environment of a group or or, 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 or anything, no? That we may start believing that, oh, this is something valuable. So we have to be a more resolved, stable, clear thinker, meaning who is deciding whether this thought is useful for me or not, whether I should think about this subject or not, whether the conclusion of my thinking process on this subject is sufficient or not, or I should think any further or not, isn't it? By the way, we are doing the same thing whole day. It's just to make it better. That's all I'm saying. We all are doing that, no? Like somebody has come to our door and trying to sell something to us. We decide or not? We do decide actually. Like how we decide? Like we will keep listening and the whole briefing of that salesman, and we decide when he says, okay, give me the money now so that I can give you the product. That time we decide or not? Even if we may feel unhappy after that. Oh my God, it was a mistake. But we have decided unconsciously, maybe. No. So it is we only, the being only. But here also, by being a more resolved thinker, we can be a more resolved being actually. Because we are the same being. That the thinker is nothing but the being that we are. No? This is yet another opportunity to be conscious of who we are. No? But let's not convert it into some kind of very lengthy process and things like this. It's a more simple thing. Like all I'm saying is that it totally makes sense to be more present and stable and conscious when thinking about anything. And that is going to make us free from the compulsive thinking also a lot. Yes. So this is the thing I wanted to add. Because what happens really when we experience ourselves and then we are having doubt? Doubt from where? Doubt coming from where? Like somebody else talking about who we are and we are believing it. Why we will believe that? No, it's not somebody else talking. It's our own thoughts talking, which we have been believing for a long time. No, isn't it? So there has to be a sort of a systematic approach towards it, a conscious effort towards it, that I have to do something about uh, resolving, like my approach towards thinking, that I evaluate thoughts, not that I believe them. That difference, between believing thoughts versus evaluating thoughts. A stable, resolved thinker evaluates thoughts whether they are useful for me or not. The more stable and the more resolved thinker, the more capable of evaluating thoughts quickly that this is not for me. Then we don't enter into the thought, open the thought, and then think that whether it is useful for me or not. No, just by, like almost we can smell. Almost the resolved thinker can smell like, not for me. Let it pass. Ah, this is for me. No, like this. Because we are the being. We don't have to move hand or something. We don't have a hand. Just by look and interest in a thought, and we are in it. No? Slowly, I feel this can be a very useful thing for us to live a wonderful life as an individual also. And it is essential to be free from mind when we are discovering who we are, so that we don't attend doubts. You know? Like we complete that course of attending doubts and being clear that whether they are to be attended or not before. No? During this time, we will perform as good as we can. We cannot perform better than that suddenly, no, in a way. There are chances that we are, when we are able to really stay in ourselves, our wisdom wakes up. Then we see that there is nothing in the mind which I should attend, because they are just floating thoughts like voices happening in my mind, and why should I listen to it? Like rather than listening to some voices happening in my mind, I should speak in my mind now, no? Like we may have this kind of clarity. I will speak now freshly. Why should I, listen to the echo happening in my mind from the past, no? Thoughts are like a echo also, many times. So we are good then.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
you.
Diva, you want to talk?
So, for the same thing that there, we spoke about how I have to make conscious effort to sit in myself, because that's where we spoke about in the warm-up time, and you asked me to ask a question about this. Is that like when I wake up or before I go to sleep, when I just sit, it's not the just sit meditation, but just relax into my being. And that is by decision that I decide to sit. At that time, there are many thoughts going on, because presently there is activity that I have in my life. And there are many thoughts floating, like you just mentioned. But at that particular time, it's as if there is no interest in the thought and they can keep going. I am not interested. But on the same note, it felt like, this was my question in the beginning, is that why does it feel as if there is nothing at all? It's as if there is, like I begin to question, is this some kind of sleep? Because it is something which I sit into before I go to sleep, or as I wake up in the morning. So I'm not very active physically or even mentally. Those are leftover things. So I began to question, am I sleeping? Because there is nothing that I sense. Like, there is no feeling. It's like blank. And I asked myself in the morning, is this sleep? So I wanted some clarification on that, as to is there some effort that is to be done? Is this the right direction?
In the night, when you are experiencing like this, no, I feel that if you make effort of trying to figure out whether this is sleep or not, it results in disturbing our sleep cycle. It has been noticed by many beings. No? So in the night time, your practice to just sit quietly and let the thoughts with which you have been working in the day, let them float and settle by themselves. It's a very good, wise understanding, no? But not really looking at something like whether this is sleep or not here. No? I mean, generally, I don't support working in the direction of knowing who we are in the night. No? But in the morning, first thing in the morning, no, like as you said, that first thing in the morning, I wake up in the morning and then I sit quietly in me. No? And then the same thing you said, no, you experience same thing, like I'm not sure whether I'm sleeping right now or not. No? That is the time where I would like to share something and it may help, Because this is the time when consciousness is waking up in us, like consciousness is increasing in us. And our body and brain and everything is supporting that increase of consciousness also in the morning. So that is the perfect time to to check that whether it is sleep or not. How would you know whether it is sleep or not, by the way? Like, is there any background, any reference you have that, okay, if it will be found like this, then it will be sleep, and if it is not? Like, do we have any knowledge of sleep? We don't generally. Our knowledge of sleep is either when we are little bit conscious when dreaming, no? Or our knowledge is when we are out of the sleep, no, in the morning. No? Like we went into the deep sleep, and then when we are out of the deep sleep, then only we remember it, no? So we don't really have a reference of it, no? And it doesn't really matter so much, meaning we don't need to really focus on whether this is sleep or not. We should rather focus whether this is my true state or not, no? So I would say that let us focus on this more, that to verify whether this is sleep or not, body mind will tell us if we went to sleep, no? But whether we are in true state of being or not, yes. Meaning it may not be sleep because you are there to question the whether this is sleep or not. So it is for sure not sleep, no? But it may not be that we are in our true state. Like something is mixed, like being is still mixing the state of the mind with it in a way, no?
Yeah, Rajee, because what I feel, yeah, it might be a mixed state because there is some sensation to it, not clearly, not very clear as to what it is, but there is something in. It would really help to see
Yes.
and clear that out.
Actually, the most simple thing I would like to share with all of you, which is something like a really like a golden key to be remembered for all of us who are the seekers of truth, who are having the intention to discover our truth and live uh, the truth of who we are. No, that key is that confusion about anything, whether this is this or not, whether this is that or not. The confusion basically is not really about the facts. Confusion is always about the state of the knower of it. You know, when the knower is not sure about being in the true state, then that doubt or that sense of confusion is projected onto what we are experiencing or knowing. If you guys can live with me right now, this simple key. When you are in your true state of being, undivided, naturally true, doubt does not happen, or if it happens in the mind, it is not attended by us. So the key here is, Deva, that this time when you are not sure whether this is sleep or not, this time try to make sure whether you are you or not. So be sure about you, your truth here. The more you will be clear about your truth here, the more you will be clear about what you are experiencing, whether this is this or whether this is that. No?
That is so true, Raji. Because I feel what happens is that in that moment I encourage that confusion, like you said, is because being like being habituated to experiencing something tangible, and maybe I tend to just lose myself in that thought that this is something I'm going to experience something tangible, and which I feel what you're saying is not the case. It's like again you are entering the mind, like supporting the confusion. You are supporting the mind.
Yes, sir. Let us try to live one simple truth again, one simple key again. Let us try to understand true seeing or pure perception. No? So is pure perception possible when the view is very clear, there is no fog, or there is enough light? Is this the precondition for the perception to be pure and clear? No? And no. The precondition for pure perception or true seeing is not really any change in the view, it is some change in the seer of it, no? In the perceiver of it. When the eyes of the perceiver, eyes of the seer are clear, then the seeing is clear, the perception is pure. No? Even if the perception of the view being foggy or not having enough light. No? Darkness will be seen by us as darkness if it is there. No? So this pure perception or true seeing is not really dependent on what we are seeing. It is dependent on the state of being from where we are seeing. And why I am saying like this? Because at some advanced stage of our awakening, we will realize the truth of life. That the truth of life that I am experiencing, seeing, is not separate from who I am, who is seeing or experiencing. This is discovered at a higher state of, an advanced stage of awakening. No? That these are not two things. What I am experiencing and who I am are not two things really. It is discovered at some point, and this key helps us here. Otherwise, we will be always trying to take the reading based on what I am experiencing and how pure it is or not. No? And not seeing the root of the true knowledge. Root of the true knowledge is the truer state of our own being only. True knowledge is not dependent on what we are looking at. Like to know the true nature of, to know the truth of body, for example. Do we need to live the body as the body, or do we need to live ourselves as the body? No. Do we need to live as the body, or do we need to live the body as the body? We need to live the body as the body to know the nature of body, right? And for that we need to live ourselves as ourselves, beyond the body, separate from the body also, up to some degree. No? So this is what is the pure perceiver of the body, even as simple and immediate as it is, no? To us. So the truer the perceiver, the truer the perceiving, no? And the more still the perceiver, the truer the perceiver also. Still. Still is important part. Like, are we moving when we are perceiving something? The more still we are when we are perceiving something, seeing something, the more clear our seeing is, no? And this has to be understood somehow. It really is not something which we can force, no? Because we cannot force ourselves to be the still seer. We can merely believe that we are the still seer when we will be forcing our mind to be still perceiver, no? So this is something, a very fundamental understanding has to be embraced at some deeper level of being. And from there a natural response comes in the being that I would like to move less now when I am looking at anything. You know. By the way, also to be a still seer, we need to be aware that I am not a still seer before that, no? And generally we are not aware that I'm a seer who is moving continuously. Thank you. I think it's a good conversation. Thank you.
I feel I get it that it's more about some stillness and not moving so much.
Yes. Because moving basically means what? Moving means what? Let us explore right now. Meaning I invite all of you. What is the stillness and movement of the being? No? Who we are? No? Why stillness is necessary in the direction of knowing who we are and in the direction of living life to the fullest? No? To experiencing life deeply also. No? Why it is necessary to be still? What is being still also? No? How do we move in a position to being still? It's not really that we are moving, the being that we are is naturally still and always still. But our attention is moving continuously. And when our attention is moving, attention means our focus. Attention is not some kind of thing, some power or something inside us. No, our focus, what we focus. You know, so we are continuously focusing from one to another thought, no? One to another feeling or sensation as a whole, what is happening inside us. We are focusing and shifting focus from one feeling to another also. No? Because of this, we are involved. It is we who is naturally still is focusing and moving the focus also. That is giving us the impression that something is happening or something is going to happen. Something is going to give me something, like living in a hope, like living in a false hope continuously. No? That is sense of a fog or sense of hypnosis in which we live, the being. And that's where we are not able to sense our own existence. That's where we are not able to experience our own nature. So we have to stop this thing to experience our own nature and to discover that I am actually naturally still. Only my focus moves, like I focus on things. You know? So what I offer as meditation, fundamental meditation, is not really focusing on something. It is more unhooking ourselves from slowing down in a way from the activity of focusing continuously. No? And that's where it may not be so easy. That's why we can maybe focus on ourselves in the beginning. But at some point, when we are not focusing on anything else in the body mind, that time we can let go of focusing on ourselves also. So that we can return to our natural, so that we can notice our natural stillness. Yeah. So shall we sit here right now for some time? Let us begin like this. So this is like an invitation, a guiding to all, with all of you together. No. Let us not jump ahead onto something. Everything that I have shared with all of you, let us put that aside for now. Maybe let it be like a background knowledge. But let us start fresh now. So it's a fresh talk and fresh walk together. No. During this guiding. So let us not reach to some different state where we imagine we will be the true self or the still self. Let us encounter the truth of how we are right now. So let us allow ourselves to notice whether I am focusing on something or not, whether I am changing my focus from one thing or to another or not. Let us start like this right now. Like, let us just be conscious, present here right now to notice what I am focusing on right now. We do not need to count our thoughts, how many thoughts are there, or how many feelings are there, or how many bodies. We don't need to count any of those things. We don't need to give value to any of those things right now. But are we focusing on anything? Are we attending anything? Are we engaged with anything right now? That's the key. I used different languages, but the main thing is focus. Are we focusing on something? Let us live the truth of this moment about ourselves and our focus. And this is somehow going to slow down things in a way that we will become more relaxed in our focusing, and we will be focusing on less things inside us. So relaxed, not stiff, not tight and like this. Relaxed and alert. Present and alert, but relaxed. Not forcing ourselves to not focus on anything. Do not do that, please. Because it never results in a good way. Because resistance basically comes from when we try to disturb our way of things as they are right now. So let us not invite resistance here. Let us remain relaxed. Let us let things happen as they are happening. And let us just be present and vigilant, aware that am I focusing on something? Is my focus moving from one thing to another inside my being, inside myself? And this very alertness is going to slow down everything here. Because our focus continuously moving from one thought to another is because of unconsciousness towards it. Right now we are trying to be conscious towards it, fundamentally. And this trying to be conscious is bringing a sufficient light where that unconscious movement of focus will slow down, and we will not be able to flow in that way very soon. So continue thinking what you want to think, continue focusing on what you want to focus, but in the light of your own presence and consciousness towards it right now. Like your movement of focus should not be unnoticed, it should be noticed by you. No? And in this way, somehow the habit of attending thoughts and feelings is slowing down, is relaxing more, and we are becoming free from it more and more right now. We are not forcing ourselves to not attend any thoughts. We are just noticing that I do attend thoughts. And slowly this our focus or our attention is relaxing here naturally. Like there is a less interest in attending anything, more interest in remaining relaxed. Now that our focus is more relaxed, our attention is more residing in the relaxed state. What I call meditation is possible. What I call just sitting is possible. Just sitting simply means letting our focus or attention relax. That's all. There is nothing else after that. There is nothing else to be done. Now, in this moment, as our attention is not moving so much, our focus is relaxed. It is not giving us the impressions of experiences so much now. We are more empty of experiences. As we are more empty of experiences in the sense of not attending them, our focus is naturally residing in ourself and kind of coming onto ourself in a way. Like a natural consciousness is coming towards our own existence. The same power of attention, which gives us, ability to experience and attend so many thoughts and feelings. When now not moving, just relaxing, is giving way for a natural self-knowing to take place. Who we are is knowing itself and experiencing itself without any effort. When our attention is relaxed in our being, the movement of thoughts, feelings, and body sensations uh, amount to nothing. They just simply are not able to bother us at all. While we are rejoicing in the knowing and experiencing of who we are truly. It is a little bit like as if we are asleep to our thoughts and feelings, and we are awake to who we are beyond it, in it. So we have a sense that there is something moving in my body mind, but there is no clear picture of what it is and what it is not, because we are not penetrating into it through our attention. Our focus is giving more value to just relaxing. And we don't need to know where to relax. Whenever our focus relaxes, it relaxes in the source only, in the being only, from where it comes out. So it's not really, there is something called focus separate from us. It is just that when we are not giving value to focusing anything right now, we are naturally a relaxed being and a relaxed attention. Now let us sense and feel ourselves also little actively, remaining relaxed as we are, and somehow allowing the wonder to wake up in us. This is not the wonder through thinking. It is the wonder within being only. Being relaxed, focus is relaxed, and the light of wonder is increasing slowly. Who I am really, what is my nature, who is present and who is relaxed here. Just a joyful wonder, not some search for something. Rather more, rather more consciously experiencing our own self in the relaxed state where our focus is also relaxed. Thank you for joining. As we open our eyes, let us allow our most of our focus or attention to remain still relaxed in our being. Only essential thought, if any, or body's movement can be attended. Only minimum. So that we can register our true state of being and a relaxed state of our attention in our mind also, in our conscious mind also. It is very important to register this truth in our conscious mind, because we are bothered by our conscious mind much more than anything else, and we are bothered when we are caught up in the conscious mind. If this information, this knowledge can reach to the conscious mind where we are when we open our eyes and mind, that will be very, very useful. Like putting some seeds of truth in the mind field. This is our way. That notice that, okay, how I am now. Let your mind now notice what it means that relaxed being and relaxed conscious, relaxed alertness, relaxed focus. Allow your mind to perceive your relaxed state so that it can register well. There will be less and less confusion next time towards whether this is true experience or not, whether this is true state of my being or not. This is the most simple way to be free from confusions created by the mind at the level of mind. At the level of being, what we tested is the way to remain free from the confusions. So very nice, thank you. I'm happy to talk to anyone also now, if anybody want to talk to me.
Ramji, it is very beautiful guided meditation. But I want to share what is happening in between the guided meditation. I watch the during the guiding. I watch my working mind is also work there, but I am relaxed in myself, not interested in there. And it's like an exploration to feel myself. But still I noticed the mind is going on there. It's watch, and it is, I feel it is judgmental, like you are doing good or you are not doing good, and you are sleeping right now. I think it's happening there all the time. But I feel this one portion is it's still there, watching all these things. So I had to clear what is the state of this all. Means I mean, it is okay, or I had to work upon all these things.
Yeah. It is very okay as a beginning of sitting in ourselves, and it is going to improve. How it is going to improve is that the more of our focus or attention when withdrawn from the mind field, the more somehow it is going to illuminate. It is going to fill our own being with that same light. So it will look more clearly. It will be more clearly. We will more clearly feel our own existence by the power of the same attention. We will feel more like we will find ourselves to be more truer in a way that it is true that I'm existing here. Like we will be able to feel the truth of our own being much more clearly, as our attention will be withdrawn more from the mind field. So it's a very good beginning, and as you will practice this, which is more like a understanding allowed. You will allow this understanding to take place in you, while allowing the withdrawal of your focus from everything. When you are not able to withdraw yourself from the mind field, sometime it is possible. That time you can begin by focusing on your breathing, which is coming in and going out, inhaling, exhaling. And that will withdraw your focus from thoughts, from the mind field. And as it will withdraw from the mind field, our focus, our attention naturally knows where to go when it is free from mind field. It is naturally knows that how to relax in our own being. So when necessary, you can focus on your breathing and body, and when possible, focus on yourself also. Which is kind of a strange thing to do in one sense, and for some it may produce some stress also. That's why I'm clearly telling you that focus on the breathing more, not focus on yourself so much. Because focusing on ourselves is a very is something you will know slowly. Like either we have to learn the right way of focusing on ourselves, and mostly it will be the way of the mind. Like a object of ourself will be created in the mind, and where we will try to focus on, and which is not really going to help us get out of the mind. No, that's why breath is out of the mind actually. Our physical body and breath is already outside of the mind. If we focus on something which is outside of the mind, are we not outside of the mind that time? You know what I mean? But there is a higher chance also that we may remain in the mind while focusing on the breath. Meaning from the mind we may focus on the breath. If we increase our focus on the breath, then only we may succeed in withdrawing ourselves from the mind. Not just a little bit that yes, it's clear. No, it must increase every breath, more focusing on the breath. Every breath, more focusing on the breath. Then only we are withdrawing our focus or attention from the mind into the breathing, which is similar to coming back to ourself also. So these are the possibilities. Thank you.
Gee, I experienced this breathing technique. I mean, at home when I feel very stressed or something, my mind is strong, and I start to breathing till navel. And in this day, after the retreat finish, I start this, and it is helping me. I understand it is.
Yeah, I mean, more maybe simplified version could be that you focus on your breath right now. Okay, right now focus on your breath. Everybody is welcome. Then are you able to focus on thinking right now? Check this. No. Focus on your breath means don't try to change your breath. Don't try to feel your breath more or less. Just simply, allow yourself to notice and live your breathing. And also notice, am I able to focus on my thoughts and feelings right now? Remember, if you are able to focus on your thoughts and feelings, then you are not able to focus on your breath. So that ability to focus on thought or feeling must be consumed in focusing on the breath. Because it's not about whether my attention is attending my thoughts and feelings or not. It is about whether I am attending breath or not. So you attend breath, not that, the mind state, from the mind state you attending breath. No? You yourself attend the breath, and you are going to be out of the mind state very, very soon. Very swiftly, very smoothly also. But make sure that you are only attending your breath and nothing else. If you are attending only your breath and nothing else, and you are relaxed about it, then you are out of mind already, into your being state. But if you are attending your breath and thoughts also and feelings also, then you are not out of the mind. No? So this can be a simple way to kind of like a middle way to come back to our relaxed state of being and attention. If we feel too troubled and caught up in the mind, that time, that day, there are days when we are too caught up in the mind, that those days we can withdraw ourselves like this. So I think we are good. Thank you.
It is very good. It's automatically sleep.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Ekta, you want to talk?
Mr. Beloved.
Namaste.
Um, I'm just delighted to be in your presence. Thank you. Uh, so now when you, during the guidance, I noticed the, when I dropped the resistance to the flow of thought and that I shouldn't be in the flow of thought, that's when it became a lot easy to just rest. And it just felt like a natural rest. There was no fight anymore, and I just wanted to report this. And now, when you asked to pay attention to the breathing, I noticed that I can either only pay attention to the breathing or I can pay attention to the thought. I'm not able to do both of them together. Somehow it is just like it doesn't work like that. So for me, this automatically is a beautiful key to just come. Yes, beloved.
Yes. Yes. So let us kind of try to make it more clear that your report that I am not able to pay attention to thoughts when I am paying attention to my breath, no, breathing, ongoing breathing. No? What I understood out of it is that you are not able to be habitually engaged with thoughts when you are paying attention to breathing. Yes or no? Like a habit of moving from one thought to another does not happen, or I am not able to get into that compulsive thinking when I'm living or focusing on my breath. Is it true like this?
Yes, it's very easy to just slip into the breath, and there it just feels very restful, and it just feels that I'm very present here, that there's nowhere else to be other than just being with the breath.
Yeah. And I want to add a little bit here that if you want, you can, as an experiment, check and do with me that what I'm saying is that if you focus on your breath, you will stay as the being, breath and body, like living the truth that I am the being and having this ongoing breathing and the body. No? And during this time, you will be able to think if you want to think something. This is my invitation. So if you want, or anyone else, if you want, you can test this right now. Check this right now whether it is true or not. So totally focus on the breath. Live your breathing now. And allow yourself to think on some subject. But the subject that you choose, not the subject which thoughts decide. No? Because this will be a conscious thinking in this case, no? Not the unconscious thinking of the mind. No? So it can be a conscious thinking. No? So check right now. Choose any subject. If you don't find the right subject or any subject, then take the subject called, how to make chai. No? For example, I have chai here, so anything will be fine of your own choice, but without disconnecting your alertness, your awareness from breathing. You will be able to think on some subject, no? But only one subject, like one subject at a time, no? Not the fog of the thinking, but a very clear and stable thinking, conscious thinking, no? Ekta, can you report if you succeeded?
Yes, it is, it is, then it becomes, it's very clear, it's very single as well. The thought and the breathing is very single as well.
Yes. So this is what is conscious thinking, actually clear thinking also. No? When we will need to go deep in the thinking, that time we may not necessarily notice that I am feeling my breath right now or not. So it is possible, but I just wanted to offer a clear a possibility of noticing something fundamental, that moving from one thought to another in the mind is not same as actually thinking by the being that we are. No, in fact it is the opposite actually. When you the being present in your being through this method of focusing on your breath out of the mind, you are capable of thinking. No, so remaining caught up in the mind or in the thoughts is not same as thinking actually. It is more bound to thinking, isn't it? Which produces every form of imagination also there, no? Towards ourselves and towards everything else. Is it not like this? Or please tell me if your report is different.
No, because I feel in this, I'm more present to the thought that is at this particular moment. Like, for example, there is the breathing now. I'm conscious of the breathing at the same time. I'm conscious that I'm talking to you, and I'm not just randomly talking, but I'm conscious of the thought that I'm talking to you.
Yes.
And there is nothing. It is just the thought and then you and the breath this time.
Yes.
And even if even by trying, it feels a little bit, it's, yeah, it feels a failed attempt.
Eh?
It feels a failed attempt, like the moment, if there are too many thoughts, then I feel the breath, somehow the attention to the breath is lost.
Yes. Basically, you can try to sense now that how it happens, how we get lost in the thoughts. You know, like basically our focus is lost in the thoughts continuously. Right now we are just withdrawing it out of the thoughts into our being through the method or through the approach of focusing on the breath first, no? Or keeping our focus on the breath, because our sense of existence is also not really something which we clearly know right now. There is a corresponding knowledge of the self also in the mind. So we live in the sense of our own existence only within the mind only, mostly, no? But when we verify that no, my focus is on my breath also, then we can be sure that I'm actually experiencing who I am really beyond the mind, outside of the mind also. No? If I'm not experiencing anything else right now or focusing on anything else except my breathing right now. No? So it is just a way of approaching ourselves beyond imagination. Like we are not imagining who we are right now. We are living who we are right now without thinking or imagining about it, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
So it's very good. It does not mean that you will be able to think a lot from here in the beginning. Some adjustment will take place here. But it is just about thinking versus thoughts, which are rotating, no? Which are not the same thing. And once you wake up to this truth that the thoughts which are rotating inside me are not really same as I am thinking. We are actually free from mind in one sense, no? Even if mind is still there inside us rotating, no? Do you see what I'm saying? This is what is goose is already out. Goose is already out. When you see that there is nothing in the rotating thoughts for me. For a moment, no? Then again we may check, we may check again. But from a more stable position, we will check, no? From more rooted state of our being, we will check that is there anything in these thoughts for me? Any information, old information or something, no? Like phone number, old address, or somebody that is important for me, maybe, no? Just joking, but this kind of thing happens. We check these things as a being also later on. But the important thing right now is to get out of it into our true state of being, no? Where we have joy, natural stillness, wisdom to see everything as it is, decide about life. No? Our seeing is not colored by anything. No? So we are good or no? Please say anything if not clear.
We are very good. It, like Rajee was saying, the simplicity of it, and it just feels so it just feels so one. Thank you.
It is one actually. It is always one. And very like one in the sense of united and like a harmonious oneness, wholeness. It is actually. It's just that we are looking at our own being, our own breath, our own body through the thinking, through the thoughts. That's why so much confusion. So it's very nice. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, beloved. Thank you. Such a delight to see you and be you. Thank you.
Same here. Very happy to meet you also. Rahul, you want to talk?
Pranam Guruji. Good to be in front of you.
Happy to see you.
Yeah. While doing the walk, as a drishta, I just wanted to check, is it my mind or whatever. So, as a drishta, I could see the reflexes, the attention and the movement. Generally, as a perception, we have that is Rahul doing things on a mundane level. But while in the walk, I felt that there is some magnetic or some energy which is not even a limited self, which keeps on doing random things, attracting attention, and it's not sorted. It is very mechanical and very stupid kind of attraction, which keeps us in that state. This is one thing. Secondly, I have lately realized that my emotions are getting very dry. Or maybe it feels that the way we used to have an expression of an emotion is not true, more of a false. The real emotion is concerned, is having love, but not having the reactions which we have been having as a person. ये दो चीज़ें हैं. Easiest thing I feel today to be your own self is through looking at breath or something. Just detaching is the only and the easiest way of being your true self. ये तीन चीज़ मुझे ध्यान में आया, मैं सोचा आपसे बात करूं.
Thank you. You said drashta meaning seer, no? Seer.
जी.
Drashta is the seer. For those who don't know this word, no? It is a very good seeing. You reported that, like as if there is some power inside me going on, which is just randomly, pulling my attention, and like it is almost like it is doing things on your behalf, And if anybody approaches you, they are going to really hold you responsible for it. No? And that time this mind will become like a saint. Like, I am just a witness, I don't do anything. No? It will just disappear from the scene that time. No? Yeah, I understand this. Yes, it is true. So this state is what is called the sleep state of the being, where the being does not notice that my own powers of body, mind and life force are being used by unconsciousness. Unconsciousness in this case is self-unconsciousness. So that this is the darkness of the self-unconsciousness in which this kind of mechanical way happens. This mechanical way has two parts. One is the you not giving permission for this to happen and still it is happening. No. One is the training part also, which is mechanical, like learning how to drive a car, reflexes and everything. So these reflexes are our strength, not our weakness really. But not being conscious that what I am giving permission to happen or not. That is our weakness. So that's why self-consciousness is the only light in which it becomes clear to you that these things are okay. Like, okay, I can talk to shopkeepers and my business associate and everything like this in this way. That's fine. It doesn't really do anything. But when I'm sitting in myself, when I'm, let's say, like this, then there is no place for these kind of things to continue happening inside me. So this kind of freedom happens through self-knowing, self-consciousness. And as you said, focusing on something in some way to kind of get unhooked from it. Yes. Get unhooked basically means that coming to something true, something real. That something true and real is who we are. We are that something true and real. Coming in contact with this reality, this truth of who we are, is the only way to really counter that power in one sense. Otherwise, it is so powerful, it produces even the sense of existence, sense of who we are also. It can actually. So it's not that, let's say, when we are experiencing sense of existence through this mixed state of being, that time we are not experiencing our sense of existence. We are, but not purely. We are, but not from the right place. We will go back to that place. After experiencing the sense of existence, we will go back to the sense of false self. Where we will go back is more important. What we experience is less important. From where we experience is more important. That's why your understanding is very true that we have to somehow unhook ourselves from that. It's not about what we are experiencing. It's about from where and as what. And even you are not experiencing anything in your natural free state of being. It is such a delight, it is such a joy. Because as you are conscious enough now, you will see the difference. Like, yeah, there's a big difference. There are like all the experiences, all the knowledge and everything, but no freedom. And here maybe no experience, no knowledge, but complete freedom. Like first time we are experiencing who we are actually, while remaining within ourselves only, not really through some method or through some other abilities. So you're very right. It's a very, very good understanding, I feel. We need some kind of strong approaches to counter our present understanding of who we are also many times. Our gentle reminders and approaches mostly result in improving our understanding of who we are while remaining in the mind only. This is not a bad thing, by the way, but it is not going to so easily result in waking up to who we are also. We need some kind of a strong approach. That's why sometimes even listening in satsang is not enough. That something has to be done, like a guiding also sometime, no? Also, yeah. Where we say that, okay, I'm going to do something, not just think. No? So thank you. I think it's very, very good.
Yeah, there is one more very interesting thing I just wanted to share. Randomly, whenever I get time, I do your meditation, picking up any of the available on YouTube. And there was this always in my mind what state it would be when a soul or a pure soul does not want to take birth. There has been a description of these things in text. So generally speaking, so there was amusement. How can anybody would reject a birth? And it was beyond my perception. And one day it so happened that I was so much into a deep state of meditation, and first time I had a taste that, oh my God, I don't want to be anything now. I don't want to take birth, anything. It was such a beautiful state. It was amazing. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you. I can actually correlate with both of your statements. You know, like I have the memory that of the feeling that like we are going to take birth, no, and the clear knowing now that why we would not take birth, next birth or something, or why it would not happen. Let's say, you know, the more simplified version of this I would like to offer to all of you or share with all of you is that it is as if the being of life, one being of life in the form of me and you, different separately, no, in the form of all of us, the same being of life is trying to resolve, trying to know, trying to experience itself deeper and clearer. When it is able to, that is kind of end of this form. Not end of the being, not end of the being, end of the form only. Meaning the need for the form is not there anymore. Meaning the need for the birth is not there anymore. No? Like this. The completion, absolute completion, Purnata is experienced in the being who is living in this form of Rahul, Rajee, and everyone like this. Once that completion is experienced, it is end of it, no. But it is not end of the being. It is the beginning of the being actually in a way, no, of experiencing its completion, its beauty. That's why in the beginning I was saying I would like to joyfully and lovingly share one more time that this life is to discover who we are. Beyond the body, mind, thoughts, feelings, everything. And this life is also to experience. And surprisingly, those who are troubled, meaning unhappy or suffering, they are neither discovering the truth of themselves nor experiencing clearly or deeply. Because experiencing does not really bind us. To which the answer is to know ourselves and be free. No, incomplete experiencing, unconscious experiencing binds us. Experiencing where we are not present enough, we are not present fully, that binds us only, no? Because it leaves a mark in our psyche, in our heart, in our being that something is not complete, no? There is nothing more freeing actually than a conscious experience. Like you will feel so free after that, like it's like I'm done with this experience. Like not that I cannot experience that thing again, but there is no need left to experience that again. Absolutely no need for that to be experienced again in my being, no? Because it was experienced as the being now. Because what we think that the experience of something depends on like amount of something, quantity of something given to us. No, it is not. It is how much of ourself present when experiencing it. Like we can experience we can have a oceanic experience of a drop of the ocean. And we can have a drop-like experience of the whole of the ocean also when given to us even. Depending on how partially or totally we are present that time, isn't it? So I want to remind again that experiencing life and knowing who we are is not really two things. But we are in the name of experiencing, not experiencing, thinking only. Experiencing our breathing can get out of mind. Experiencing our physical body also can get us out of mind. For both knowing who we are truly and experiencing life truly, consciously, we are required. We means the still stable being is required. The being who is present, required. Like the same being, conscious being, self-conscious being is required basically, for both experiencing and knowing who we are. And this is where a deeper truth is opened for us, that what I am experiencing and who I am are not really two things. Are not two things actually, it's just one thing, appearing as two. This is such a vastness experienced in this vastness of our own being, as the experiencer of life and as the life also, and as the knower of it also, witness of it also. It's a natural experience. Let us not think about it, otherwise it will look too big. Let us slide out of the mind into our natural state of being, and we will experience it so simply. Whatever we will experience. Whenever we are really stable and settled or established in our natural state of being, division is not found. This is the thing. Any form of division is not found here. So thank you. I think it's very, very good. Thank you. In the beginning, when we get out of mind, also we kind of don't have the readiness for remaining in the being state also. Because in the being there is a sense of doing something all the time. We are not used to of not doing anything for quite some time. No? That's where the sleep also happens, that when we sit inside our being for some time, we start feeling sleepy or start feeling like doing something, meaning attending thought or something. No? Whole day we don't really need to keep doing something or the other all the time. No? There has to be some time somewhere in between. No? Because like we are not in a war field or some profession where every minute we have to do everything. It's just that we are not conscious. So being conscious of being occupied all the time also becomes our strength in a way to remain unoccupied from anything in our natural state. No? So that kind of important also. We cannot force ourselves to remain as ourselves also. We cannot. We will not succeed. No? Only when we appreciate the beauty of remaining unoccupied in our natural state and the joy, fullness of our own being, this appreciation enables us to not get into the mind. No? Yeah. Anybody else also? Please, you can talk.
Rajee, I've been now because of the joy inside and very much merged into the life. So that's why I feel so much that it's everything, whatever I'm doing, very small thing in the practical life is also very much joyful and beautiful. It's like in every moment, like, can enjoy with the joy.
Yeah, it is actually, um, while remaining in the mind state, we live in many misunderstandings also, no? About daily routine, about life, about goals, and so much, like this. When we get unhooked from it into our natural state, then we find ourselves approaching our daily life much more simply and holistically in a way, like, which is where we feel so joyful actually. Like, this is one very amazing thing to notice, is that what we call gratitude towards life, sense of blessedness towards life, is not really something to be learned actually. It is just about being more present in life, not projecting onto life so much that we naturally feel blessed actually. We feel grateful. We do actually, you know, like this sense of gratitude or sense of, blessedness is naturally felt inside us. And it was found to be like a pointing also, that this is one of the things that happens when we start living as ourselves also. That we find our day every day to be more joyful, and like a sense of blessedness is there. Like the sense of complain or lack is not there, that this is missing, but the sense of thankfulness is there for what we have more. No? Yes, yes. It is natural, it's just natural. And this is also inbuilt in the being, that neither we can think about it nor we need to really. Meaning, as a practice, maybe it is fine to think about it or cultivate, but in natural state of being, it is simply there. Like, we are just so happy with how things are generally. Maybe a little bit of a complaint about things is fine, but only superficial, no? Oh, yes, yes. Generally, what happens is that when we are living in the mind, we are not living in the life that is present in, around us, around our body, breath, and our being. We are living a projected life, like a dream projected onto the real life, no? And then we have the goals of that life also projected goals, which are not true. No? You know what I mean? That's where we have a stress that I'm trying so much, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm trying to achieve this, I have achieved that also. But where is that thing which I thought that I'm going to get out of it? No? Yeah. But here is all real. No? It's a real body. It's a real body. It's a real breath. It's a real being. It's a real day. It's a real waking state. It's a real room.
Even right now, maybe in a whole day, 1, 2 times has a kind of complaint. But I will also say thank you, because I realize that this kind of complaint and then it's gone. Like this.
I mean, complaint is fine, like if it is superficial and, like this. Like, as long as we are grateful that that we exist. If we are grateful for our existence, all the other complaints are only superficial. We are not grateful for our existence. That's where things are not okay. Then our complaint is real actually, but only it is for our existence. That I'm not happy with my existence. No? And because we are not discovering and living the truth of who we are, that's why we are not grateful for our existence. No? There is no greater blessing in life than our own existence. I know it may not sound actually as great as it really is, or as I feel it when I'm sharing. Like, what is the big deal? Everybody exists. This is not so important. What is important is that how many things, how many desires, how many projects I have finished in my life. That's more important, no? Not really. The happy, joyful state of the experiencer is more important than anything given to the experiencer in life. You know, the true and joyful state of the experiencer is more important than anything given to the experiencer. Otherwise, the experiencer spoils everything. No, the great kingdoms are turned into like deserts. Like it's just useless. I have no interest in this. And even when nothing is given, the experiencer is joyful and true to itself. Even a small flower, it doesn't look divine. It is divine. Just its truth is seen by us now. That how it is divine. And so is our existence. No? Like this. Thank you, beloved. I'm very happy, and that's why I felt little, inspired to share happily like this.
And yeah, I feel now in the morning when I get up, it's also like every day is a new day, fresh day, and also to sense the body, to see how's inside happening. It's also very nice.
Yes, you're very right. I mean, the more joyful we are, the less we are seeking. When we are sufficiently joyful in our being, we are not seeking anything anywhere. When we are not seeking anything anywhere, whole of our ability, whole of our consciousness is here. No? What it will do? It cannot be consumed by just thinking about what we are doing today. Most of it remains free, and then this discovers its own truth of body, mind, feelings, and everything. And naturally, without any effort. Yes, you are right. It is naturally noticed by us, not naturally known by us, all this truth. We do not really need to know any truth before knowing truth of who we are. And by the way, we cannot really know the truth of anything truly before that also. So it is just a useless effort we all make, by the way. So it's not like that you will make this mistake, everybody makes this mistake. I'm just sharing my experience so that in case somebody can listen to it and it can save their time, maybe a little bit. It can save them from some kind of struggle also. Like the true knower is necessary before we start collecting the true knowledge. No, true knower is like a vessel which does not have any holes, so that what is kept in it remains, does not drain out. No? And we just don't care about this fundamental mistake, that the container of the mind has many holes all over the place, like in this whole container. So whatever we keep in the mind, the true knowledge, it just drains out. It doesn't remain. No? Who we are is the only true container, where even a sense of our own existence, it just remains forever now. Does not go anywhere now. So let us care about the true knower more than true knowing, of anything else. You know what I mean? Like, let's correct the container first. What is the container? Like a stable container, a unchanging container also. Like today, it is found that the container is made of stone. Let's say, made of glass. And then you fill the water in it, and tomorrow it is found, it was made of cardboard or paper. No, that's not nice, no? A unchanging container also, no? Whose nature is not changing. No? This is something important, and somehow as if we are missing the fundamentals in one sense, no? And we are trying to fill ourselves with lot of knowledge, and not checking that where it goes after that. Does it remain? Does that knowledge remain? What knowledge remains? No? It is not because of the quality of the knowledge. That quality of the knowledge was not good, so that's why it disappeared. The place where we put it, we have to check. The more present the knower of something, the more permanent the knowing will be. No? When the knower is like totally present, it can never lose what it has known or it will know. No? Never. Never means like absolutely never. That's why what we call still knower is more nothing but present to knower. No, still means present also here, no? In this way. Thank you. I think very, very, very nice.
Thank you so much, G. It's all your blessings, your love, everything. Thank you, G.
Thank you. I think this is not really something like we have a misunderstanding in the mind that when we are in the ego mind, or caught up in the mind that if I get out of the mind, then I will not be able to live life or enjoy life or anything. It's not really about that. It's not about what to live and not to live. It is about as what to live, from where to live. No. It happens that different beings have different movements in a way. So for some being it could be the moment that we discover that I am false actually, meaning my knowledge about myself is false. This is where we first time know that I do not know myself. No? Then we will know the truth of ourselves. Then we will know that whatever I know in the mind is also false now. Then now we will start knowing truly also, meaning a mind full of true knowledge will be created in a way inside us, no? Natural mind also. Yeah? This is not going to be like forever, but enough for this life, no? In this body. Much more enough actually. So whatever is known in this true mind, natural mind, is not lost. It just remains. So these are the things which kind of happen. We don't, maybe either we are not ready for them or we don't hear about them maybe. No? Also, yeah. Thank you. Very, very good. Thank you. All of you are great beings. You are the being of life also. No? And you are knowing the truth slowly, and your mind is resolving more and more into truth. No? And I have this feeling to share with you a little bit. My experience of life or knowing, no, like this, which may help you in some way. Like it may work like a reminder for you in some way, where you can see something. No? It may not be easy to really fully understand or embrace this truth that when we are not living as ourselves, then we are actually not living. But at least if I share, it may help you in some way. I have this feeling. So I don't have any fixed goal of this sharing, just sharing it with you that it might help some. No? When we are not living as ourselves, we are actually not living. We are in some kind of middle state where we exist but don't exist, where we live but don't live. You know, some kind of ghost state or something. You know, like a intermediary state. Because only what exists can be lived, and only who exists and present can live it. No, it is really as simple as this. So, are we living what exists? Depends on, are we present as who we are, who exists. No? It's a one-to-one relationship of the true experiencer and that which is truly experienced. It is said that this is consciousness, no, in the form of the word that we are experiencing. It is one truth in the form of the word that we are experiencing. But still we are seeing the forms. Still we are seeing places, rocks, you know, bricks and doors and floors and computer and everything. No? Through the mind, no? Through the mind and the senses, no? We are seeing it. And all of this can be experienced by the true knower, true experiencer. No? So simply that through the mind and senses, this truth, one truth is being experienced by me as so many things, as the whole world, you know. So naturally it is known by us like this. Who truly is experiencing is the greatest mystery of life. Who is the true experiencer within ourselves and as ourselves is the greatest mystery really, my friends. And we are sitting on that great mystery, or we are that great mystery, and as if we are not looking at it in a way, or you know, who are you who is experiencing? As we become more still in our natural knowing of our own being, it is find as if my own self, my own individual consciousness is just another point of view for the true experiencer that I am beyond it, for the self that I am beyond it. Just another point of view, another focal point, you know, through which looking into the life or experiencing the life happening. Every one of us is one focal point only, one point of view only, a place from where things have been arranged in such a way. All our conditioning of body, mind, and everything is playing a role to create a very unique experience of the same thing called truth into a very specific experience called word, life, my life. You know. As I said in the beginning, I don't know how this can help any one of you, but there was a feeling to share, so I shared. Thank you for listening. Still, we have some time. If anybody want to talk to me, you can talk. Then we will end this meeting. Yeah, Mila.
Namaste. Thank you so much for this opportunity to clarify what is not clear. I just wanted to use it and clarify with you that it is very beautiful meeting today, and it is very new kind of experience for me, or feeling, I don't know how to call it correctly, that I feel very much present in the meeting, and at the same time I feel that I'm totally free from everything else which usually I'm involved with, like for example feelings, thoughts, or anything. And it is for me like kind of understanding of what is the true experience, or how I can be during the daily life activity. For example, of course, when I'm doing something, I need to be involved of, I don't know, driving a car or walking. But when I have a free time, I can be totally free from everything. Is that what I experienced today during all our meeting? Is that kind of true state which I can live through the day when I have free time, or when I have opportunity to be free from kind of life or something.
Yeah. This is the like, in the opposite state of this, what you are offering, what you are sharing, no? In the opposite state is what we call our forgetful state or false state, living in the false state of being. In the false state of being, the experiences are true. In the true state of being, the experiencer is true. No? Experiences are just experiences. They are not true or false. At the max, we can say experiences have two categories. One, what we are experiencing right now, and what we experienced before, whose memory is there in the mind. So the memory of the experience of life versus actual experience of life right now. No? Just two type of experiences. How true is this experience right now? We think that the experience has something which will decide that how true it is or whether it is true or not. No, the experiencer decides. That reality, the truth of the experience is given by the experiencer actually. We are this being, we are this truth, we are this true being who is giving reality to the experiences. And then sometime when we have forgotten ourselves, getting confused by those experiences, oh my God, how to be free from them? How to be free from false self, mind, ego, all the things that we are troubled by inside us. Do not give life to them. So stop giving life to them, first thing. Then second thing, nothing else required. Only one thing. Stop giving life to it, that's all. Now it should be obviously asked that how we give life to it and how to stop giving life to it. Because we are giving life to everything that we are living, that is living inside us, and we are just not noticing it. Stop giving life to it. No? That's all really. Great beings have found out that the best way to deal with the mind or ego or anything which is inside me, once I have realized myself, is to ignore it. No? What is ignoring? Ignoring means not giving life to it anymore. No? Give life to what you want to give life to. No? Like this, we are creating our life. And then we are living in that life which we have created. And then sometime when we are not conscious of who we are troubled by that same life also, which we ourselves created. No? So we are not really caught up in something called life. We are caught up in something that we have created ourselves. We are the self. We have such a freedom. You know? What do you feel? Are we talking the same thing or different?
Yes, Guruji, and can we clarify more about how to give life to this?
How to not give life or give life?
Yeah, how to not give life, yes.
We are the being, meaning what we call ourself, I am, I exist. This our self who exists is truth, is eternal truth. It is eternal being that we are. No? When we move, then what happens is called life. Life means aliveness happens. Aliveness, the flow of aliveness, a new wave of aliveness added to the emptiness of conscious consciousness. No, it's like this. In this case, within ourselves, no, within body mind. So when we move, then we add life to anything that is inside us. No? Because our movement creates life, gives, brings aliveness out of the unmanifested into the manifested world. No? Our movement is what brings out the life from the unmanifested to the manifested, like this. Yeah. So learn to not move as the being. This is the way to ignore it or not give life to anything that is happening inside us. And move when you want to move. So this is why the holistic movement of the being is very important. Holistic movement is, in a very simplified version, very, very simplified version, will be that you consciously thought to have toast or sandwich today. You went to a shop, bought a, bread, made the sandwich. In this whole process, it took, let's say, 1 hour in preparation and in eating. There will be no gap where you will feel, oh my God, what I did and why I did it. It will be like one continuous joyful flow. No? Versus, I think I need sandwich. You go to the sandwich shop and you end up buying chocolate cake there maybe. You bring the chocolate cake and then at home, oh, I wanted this kind of chocolate is not good for me. And you may end up even eating the chocolate cake at home and more regret now. So it is possible for the holistic being to do things as Joy also you were reporting, no? From your being. And just simply ignoring everything else that is happening inside. Everything else in this case is the old way of being and old energy is flowing inside. They are not to be attended so that they can just simply disappear. They will just simply dissolve into the emptiness if they are not given new life. So if you move in your own way, holistic way of the being, the way of the person or way of the false self will just simply be wiped out of our system. No? So knowing ourselves is one thing, staying as ourselves is another, then living as ourselves in life is the last thing, no? Which you are asking right now. As soon as we start living as ourselves, the old memory and that energy, and it's all wiped out more and more. Wherever you see, oh, what is this? Gone. Are we clear then?
Yes, thank you so much for this very clear map, which I will try to follow.
Yeah. That's why it is much less important in this direction, Mila, to think about what will happen to my thoughts and feelings which are inside me. That's the least important thing actually. More important is that what we are doing today. How much more life we are creating today. That is the bigger concern, no? We are unknowingly creating so much more life that we will have to deal with again after that, no? The first thing is to take a deep breath, focus on your breath, come back to yourself, stay in yourself, don't move from here as much as possible, except for the practical life. So that when we move now, we move as the true self only, within the will of the Supreme Being, in harmony with the Source. No? What is harmony in this case? That we enjoy living. No? We rejoice in living. That is harmony in life. What is disharmony? That I have to live it. What is disharmony? Meaning that which I don't like, but still I have to live it. No? Even that we don't have to live. We can live in the joy and the beauty of our own being, but not coming out of it. Also, no? Thank you, beloved. I think indirectly I have tried to point out something. Hope you will. Those of you who understand this, you will get the message. No? It was very, very amazing meeting with all of you. And I think there was a message also. Devdas, you wrote, no? Yeah. You wrote that heartfelt thank you, beloved Rajiji, for your being, for your love and loving sharing of the truth. God bless you endlessly, beloved. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, beloved. It is a blessing to exist, and it is also a blessing that you are here right now, and you are sharing your blessing with me. No? Thank you, thank you. It is a blessing. I am a blessing. You are a blessing. We don't have to create this blessing, Devdas. We just have to start living it. And for that, we will have to leave all of our life projects, which are only imaginations and dreams. And we have to start attending the truth that we are, who exists right this very moment. Who is the blessing, blessedness, no? I am totally in this blessedness, in this blessing with you, beloved. Totally, totally. We are one here. We are very much here and one. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your love. Thank you. By talking verbally or talking in the mind, we cannot change truth. But sometime talking and listening in satsang like this, we can be free from that talking, so that we can start living the truth, which cannot be changed by talking, no? So this talking, your talking is very beautiful talking. Thank you for this. Very, very nice. Thank you, beloved, for joining this meeting. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you.